Well, good morning. It is Tuesday, April 20th, and we are gathered for a morning devotion. And today's comes from Psalm 136, and it's entitled, God's Work in Creation and in History. Oh, give thanks to the Lord, for he is good, for his steadfast love endures forever. Oh, give thanks to God of gods, for his steadfast love endures forever. Oh, give thanks to the Lord of lords, for his steadfast love endures forever. We alone, or who alone, does great wonders, for his steadfast love endures forever. Who by understanding made the heavens, for his steadfast love endures forever. Who spread out the earth of the waters, for his steadfast love endures forever. Who made the great lights, for his steadfast love endures forever. The sun to rule over the day, for his steadfast love endures forever. The moon and stars to rule over the night, for his steadfast love endures forever. Who struck Egypt through their firstborn, for his steadfast love endures forever, and brought Israel out from among them, for his steadfast love endures forever. With a strong hand and an outstretched arm, for his steadfast love endures forever. Who divided the Red Sea in two, for his steadfast love endures forever. Who made Israel pass through the midst of it, for his steadfast love endures forever. But overthrow Pharaoh and his armies in the Red Sea, for his steadfast love endures forever. Who led his people through the wilderness, for his steadfast love endures forever. Who struck down great kings, for his steadfast love endures forever. And the kings, famous kings, for his steadfast love endures forever. Shion, king of the Amorites, for his steadfast love endures forever. And Og, the king of Bashan, for his steadfast love endures forever. He gave their land as an heritage, for his steadfast love endures forever. A heritage of his servant Israel, for his steadfast love endures forever. It is he who remembered us in our low estate, for his steadfast love endures forever, and rescued us from our foes, for his steadfast love endures forever. Who gives food to all flesh, for his steadfast love endures forever. Oh, give thanks to the God of heaven, for his steadfast love endures forever. Obviously, what's the key point here? For his steadfast love endures forever. And so the psalmist is simply writing of these great events in history, the crossing of the Red Sea, the parting of the Red Sea, the defeat of Egypt and their firstborn, and going through the waters, getting into the promised land, defeating kings, who created the heavens and the earth, who made the heavens, who made the great wonders, who made the great lights, who made the sun to rule over the day, the moon and the stars to rule over the night. All of this is done by God. And why did God do this? Because his steadfast love endures forever. Even at the very end, when it talks about, God remembered me in our low estate. Now he's talking about Israel in particular, the Hebrew people. God remembered them when they were very low because he loves them. He rescued them from their foes because he loves them. He gives them food because he loves them. Today in our age, we don't give thanks to God in this way as we should. Look at the events in your life, the great things that have happened in your life, even the not so great things that have happened in your life. And remember that God has a hand in all of that. God may not be directing and guiding you one-on-one with all that, but God is in the midst of all that. And God does it because God loves you. God's steadfast love endures forever. And that word, the steadfast love, the Hebrew word for that is hesed. And it's a love that is never going to go away. It's a love that is always there. It's a love that is present in you even if you don't know it. God loves you. And so all the events that take place throughout your lives, all the events in history are done because God loves us. Go forth with the day or with the knowledge that God loves you and there's nothing you can do about it.